Okay, my humble pranams to all of you again. So today we are gathered here to do our season 6. Actually, we are starting season 6 today, right, for English season. Season season 10 for English. I keep forgetting that season 10 for English. So, and this season we are only going to concentrate on Swadyaya, and I think that is one of the most important thing that we all should concentrate on now, because we have been doing meditation for almost 1 year now, and we have done our Sajjana Sangatya, and there are so many Zoom sessions that is doing Sajjana Sangatya, but very limited Zoom session doing Swadhyaya. So that is all joined together in this Zoom session to do Swadhyaya here. Okay, with that, today's Swadhyaya is Living with the Himalayan Masters, continuation from the previous weeks. So let me pass this to Master. Today with Master Pathma, Master Shasi, Rekha, and Master Krishnaveni will be sharing their portion of this book. So with that, pass it to Master Pathma. Thank you, Master Pathma.
Thank you, Tilama. I offer my humble pranams to Brahma Shri Pitamaha Patriji, Swarnamala Patriji Ma, to all the pyramid masters, universe, and Swami Rama. Okay. So my portion is, it's about the most, I would say the toughest, but it's basically, it's about philosophy. So it's about the 7 system of Eastern philosophy. Basically Hinduism, not just Hinduism and Buddhism, it's within, it's consists, it's embroiled within this 7 philosophies according to Swami Rama. So how Swami Rama start this chapter is, he said he often visit Dr. Ranade from Allahabad University. And he said this Dr. Ranade is the finest exponent of Vedanta philosophy during his time. So he says he's not just a very highly literated man, but also he's the great mystic. And whatever Swami Rama learned about this systematic, about Hindu philosophy, it's all from him, Dr. Ranade. So this Dr. Ranade taught Swami Rama that Indian philosophy is divided into 7 systems, and how this 7 system was conceived, it was to answer the set of main philosophical questions. So what are these questions? Okay, we will see. First question, who am I? From where I have come, and why have I come? What is my relationship with the manifold universe and other human beings? This is first set of questions. Second, what is the essential nature of my being, and what is the essential nature of the manifested world and its cause? Second set of question. The third set of question is, what is the relationship of the center of consciousness and the object of the world? Okay, the fourth, what is the nature of the forms and names of the objects in the world, and how do they serve the essential nature of man or universal consciousness? What are the guidelines? Fifth set of question is, what are the guidelines for action as long as we live in the natural body, and do we live after death? Okay, the last set of question is, what is truth? How do we arrive at rational conclusion on question of truth? Okay, so to answer these set of questions, the rishis, the ancient rishis, they came up with their own knowledge, so that knowledge became the 7 system of Indian philosophy. And what are those? Is Vedanta, Yoga, Sankhya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa, Nyaya, and Buddhism. Okay, so according to Swami Rama, the Western scholars, they have given dates, dates of the, the sages that might have, when the date, this philosophy, this set of philosophy might have started. But according to Swami Rama, it's just their assumption. These philosophy, it's already existed millennia. So the first is Vedanta. Okay, so as Hindus, we must have heard about Vedas and Vedanta, right? So in Vedanta, the very first system of Indian philosophy, what it says is, I am self-existent consciousness and bliss. So this is not my attributes, but this is my true nature. And what this Vedanta also says, my essential nature means my very nature is free of all qualification and limitation. And I, in the sense of the self, it doesn't come from anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere, but I rather assume many forms by birth and many names. I am like ocean, and all the creatures, it's like wave. And the individual soul, it's called Brahma. And it is the universe. And the individual soul is essentially Brahma, all inclusive, all expansive. And the genderless Om is its name. It is the nucleus, and it's the own Shakti. So this power, what I can conclude by this is talks about Advaita, means the Brahma and me, it's not different. So I am the Brahma. So the Brahma is within me, and the Brahma is me, and the Brahma is everywhere. So I exist in this form, I exist within me, and I exist everywhere. This is what this is called Advaita, this non-dualism. So this Maya, this Maya also it's also a power of Brahma. So what this Maya does, this Maya gives us a notion that everything is a manifold, means everything is different. In truth, there is no manifoldness. There is no way that infinite becomes finite. So what we need to do is, as we the soul, what we need to do is, we need to eradicate this this misconception of the finite and infinite is different. Okay, and so this is about Brahma, and they said they also have some important statements in the Upanishad, and they've given us the few set of the statements that where this Vedanta philosophy evolves. Okay, first statement, there is nothing manifold here, means there is nothing separated, dual, different here. From death to death, he wanders who sees anything here as though it were manifold. Okay, like we souls, right? This, even though we know that we have taken many births before, and we yet to take many births to come. Despite all the births we have taken and yet to take, we are still that soul, that Brahman, that the same soul. Okay, okay. The second statement is, he who is tranquil dwells in Brahma, from whom the universe emanates and into whom it dissolves. Okay, who is tranquil? Okay, so who is this strength? Who they are talking about is us, we the soul. The tranquil they mean is the one who connect with the our inner self. So the moment we have connect with our inner soul, we dwell into Brahma. Okay, so this Brahma, is the universe, which give birth to universe at the same time the universe dissolved within the Brahma. Okay, so I can say we will become Brahma in the sense of we will become the start point and the end point together. You know, the meeting point, the intersection of creation and I won't say destroy lah, but the point of everything. Okay, so the third statement is all this is Brahma. Means everything we see is Brahma, whether it's movable or immovable. Everything is Brahma. So when everything is Brahma, there is no I. Whatever I possess, whatever I have, whatever I'm saying, it's nothing from me. It's everything from the Brahma. So when you think everything is from the Brahma, that's when this ego, the I, it will diminish. Okay. Brahma is the pure gnosis. Means I believe that Brahma is the pure truth, the ultimate reality, which all the soul need to realize. I mean, the soul knows that. Only we human mind need to realize that. Okay. And this self is Brahman. Okay, I've already said that all of us are Brahman, and that thou art. I think it means the same. And then I am that. So I am that. I am Brahma. Okay. So this is about Vedanta, and the exponents of Vedanta. They say Vyasa, Gauda Pada, Govinda Pada, but I think this philosophy already conceived way before this sages. But Adi Shankaracharya, he was the one. He is the exponent of Advaita. Means what he did. You know, this Vedanta had so many ideas, so many knowledge. So he came when Adi Shankara came. He systemized everything. So everybody started to follow that. Whatever Hinduism following currently, it's what Adi Shankaracharya has systemized. But even after he did that, many rishis or many seers came after him, many acharyas. They still, some agree, some do not agree. And some came with, different philosophy based on Adi Shankaracharya as well. Okay, so this is Vedanta. Next is yoga. Okay, in yoga, what it says is the yoga's philosophy is individual soul is seeker, and the cosmic consciousness is the ultimate reality it finds within. See, this is similar with Vedanta, but what it says that the individual soul is seeker, not Brahma. Okay, so this is what I find little different, between Vedanta and yoga. So yoga accommodates all religion and all philosophy system, as long as you practice their set. What is important for yoga is their practical aspect. Okay, and here they believe in dualism, duality, the manifold phenomenon of universe. So in yoga, what they believe is the soul must take care of this individual body, this physical body, and must purify it and must strengthen its capacity and must maintain this highest principle of behavior. So and this body also, the soul need, while doing all this, it also need to follow this yama and niyama, means the set of rules and by practicing stillness in posture and meditation, we will finally have control over our senses and we will attain samadhi. And the final goal of this this philosophy is to attain kaivalya. Kaivalya is aloneness. And then who is the exponent? Not exponent. They say Patanjali Patanjali Yoga came with the Yoga Sutras, but they say even before Patanjali, they already came up with all these concepts and philosophy. And the third is Sankhya. Sankhya is also system of dualistic, and the belief that this conscious Purusha and Prakriti means unconsciousness to be separated, yet they coexist and they interdependent. So in Sankhya, they believe that the Jivatma means the soul is different from Paramatma, God, Ishvara. And in this school, they what they believe is we need how to remove the pain and misery is to the pain and the misery is caused because of the Purushas, means the conscious involvement with Prakriti. And what is this Prakriti? Prakriti is it's the unconscious, yet it has three attributes: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So all whatever happening in this universe, it's all because of these three attributes. Whether it's mental operation or any interaction, it's caused because of these three gunas. Okay, so when these three gunas is in balance, that's when Prakriti in equilibrium. And they say most of the Indian philosophy school have some part of the Sankhya philosophy in them. Okay, next, Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika, it's more to scientific. They say this philosophy mainly deal with physics and chemistry of body and universe. So there is this Acharya, his name is Kannada. And what he says is particular elements, their atoms and their mutual, the atoms' mutual interaction is the subject to the philosophy to be dharma and the code of conduct, which lead human being to prosperity. So in this, they talk about 9 subjects: earth, water, fire, air, space, time, dimension, mind, and soul, and their mutual relationship. There aren't much talked about by Sheshika in here. Okay, the Mimamsa system was found by Munivar Jamini, and what in here they talks about is it's more to action. So they believe they also this Mimamsa also incorporate with Vedas, and they believe in Mimamsa they accept that Vedas as self-evident scripture. So in this Veda, they in this philosophy they mainly follow ritual, worship, ethical conducts, and philosophy of karma. And so this is about Mimamsa. And Nyaya. So Nyaya, it's about question. And Nyaya was founded by Gautama Munivar, and what Gautama says that answer for everything starts with questions, and entire Indian philosophy needs the inquiry. The doubts and the question is the prerequisite. So all the schools of Indian philosophy, they follow this Nyaya. Even now, very basic. P. Why are we here? That's a question. Second, who am I? That's a question. We all here because of those questions, So in a way, we also following this Nyaya Indian philosophy in our daily life. The last one is Buddhism. Buddhism, of course, we know, founded by Gautama Buddha. And Gautama Buddha was born in Kapila Vastu. Okay, where is this Kapila Vastu? This is the ancient ashramam of sage Kapila. So Kapila sage, he's the exponent of Sankhya. So Buddhism is, in a way, I can't say Buddhism in a way conceived and influenced by Kapila's Sankhya Indian philosophy. But what is different from Sankhya and Gautama Buddha is it's about the self, non-self, Ananta. Okay, so Gautama, what is, this Buddhism philosophy is about the four noble truth. There exists sorrow, means there is suffering, and there is a cause of the suffering. The suffering can be eradicated, and there are means for the eradication of sorrow. So, what Buddha said, um, suffering is real, and there is a reason behind the suffering. What? Desire. So, if the desire can be eliminated, then there will be no suffering. Okay, so this is what Buddhism is. And this four, actually what this Swami Rama said, this four noble truth, it's already in Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga's sutra also. This four noble truth, it's already there. But it's what's the difference between Buddhism and the Yoga Sutra is the doctrine of Ananta, means the non-self. So Buddha, he refused to participate in any metaphysical questions like God exists. If God exists, where is God? And what happened to Buddhas after Nirvana and Paranirvana? All those kind of questions. So what Buddha said, this is not important. This question is not even worth answering. What an enlightened one wants is, even that's a desire, the enlightened one wants. The high practical teacher, he wanted his disciple to practice eightfold right path of action that would lead them to Bodhi, the finest level of consciousness. Okay. After Buddha's Paranirvana. Okay, what is Paranirvana? Nirvana is the cessation of suffering. So Buddha, when he became an enlightened one, there is no more suffering for him, because he already know the truth. He know how to eradicate suffering. But Paranirvana is after he attained Nirvana, and Paranirvana is after his death. After his death, his Buddhism became two school. One is Theravada, another one is Mahayana. So Theravada is mainly followed in India, and Mahayana is outside from India. Okay, for Theravada, they're still using Pali as their official language. But they also follow Indian rituals, Indian way of, Hinduism way of worship and rituals. And they believe Buddha has their enlightened teacher, not their savior. So for them, what they say is each person need to find his own light, is then enlightened, and finally reach the Ananta, means the non-self. Okay, so this is Theravada. For Mahayana's language, their official language is Sanskrit. And here they talk about Shunya, means void. Okay, lately I came across the Shunya from one meditation practice I'm going. That master keep on using Shunya, Shunya, Shunya. I was wondering, what is this Shunya? So it's void, it's nothing. Nothing is there. Nothingness, nothing. No light, no sound, nothing. It's like vacuum. Okay, and then here also they talk about the storehouse of consciousness, Alaya Vijnana and Vijnana Vadin, the school of cosmic consciousness. And they believe that even though Hinduism accepted Buddha as ninth incarnation, the Buddhists, they don't actually really consider Buddhas as a god. What they and they don't even they are in a loss, because they don't need a devotion to a higher being, because they themselves they need to become one the higher being. So they don't believe in become not a slave, but to be if you believe in higher being and you believe yourself is lower, you will be instead becoming one. You will be in down there and worshiping the higher being. So they want us, the Buddhists want to become also the higher being. Okay, the Mahayana school still uses Kundalini and the chakra knowledge, and then they also have their symbols, figures, and everything. And Buddha owns path is middle path, and even though it's a middle path, his Buddhism teaching is primarily for monk, but now it's mainly followed by large section of people. And then yes, it talks about advidya, which means ignorance, and middle path can help people, someone I mean people to eradicate advidya, and which lead to uh, this advidya, what leads to craving, desires. Once we eradicate this advidya, then this tanha will be gone, and then we can attain freedom from sorrow, pain, and misery. Dun, ta, da, done, finish. 7 system of Eastern philosophy to
Thank
my
you.
understanding.
Thank you, Padma. It was beautifully done. Actually, I couldn't understand what they were talking, but after listening to you, I have a clearer picture of the whole thing.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tilak.
Ma. I know you are the right person to do this. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you,
Okay,
Tilak.
we'll pass over to the next person. Is it Shashi Rekha? Can you on your video, Ma?
Yes, Master.
Okay, I'll give you the co-host, yeah?
Okay. Then, my humble pranam to Pidamha Patriji and Swarnamada Patriji. Okay, the story start with Sri Rama, read a book written by Mountain, a scholar who did research on Soma. Soma is the famous herb used by the Himalayan medicine men in their worship and rituals. Okay, normally in the some portion in Vedas also talk about this Soma, how to use about this herb, how it is used, the way it's prepared and where it grows. So Sri Rama was very curiosity, and he managed to contact the writer. The writer introduced him Vaidya Bhairavdut, a famous herbologist of the Himalayan mountain who was considered to be the only living authority on Soma. Okay. Even he is no longer living, but the center still continue to supply herbs to various parts of the country. He is well versed in scripture too. The writer promised to Sri Rama that he will bring to the herb, and he will bring the herb and how to use it. So the writer say the creeper which grows above 11,000 feet only grows at 2 or 3 places only. Then Sri Rama gave 1,000 rupee for traveling expenses to the writer. After winter, both of them went to the pond of the creeper. Then he prepared the soma. They experimented with marijuana and hashish, which can create fearlessness. The herbologist also explained that soma creeper was not from mushroom family. It's from succulent family. There are few herbs which are poisonous, but if you use small doses, it has a hallucinogenic property. So it's very important to know the proper quantity in using these herbs. Vaidya Bhairavadut also wrote so much about soma and mercury preparation with hundreds of ways of preparing such antitoxin for human usage. However, it's not permitted to the use in yoga, in any school of yoga, because there are some sadhus use some, because there are some people use this these herbs without knowing the proper usage. So what happened? They will something like they will sitting, they found dumb sitting here and there. So they must really know the proper usage about this. Normally, homeopaths recommend a single dose of arsenicum 10 m for a dying patient for fearlessness. That means they just give single dose of arsenicum 10 for dying for normally they will feel scared when they want to die, so they give a small amount of these herbs. And hemlock poison was used by Egyptians and Greeks on the deathbed, so that the dying person will feel no pain and could accept death pleasantly. Similarly, the use of soma was especially recommended by the mountain herbalists to turn the mind inwards, and they included these herbs in ritual which become part of the religious ceremonies of Haryans. Patanjali, codifier of yoga science, say first sutra that can help one in having psychic experience and who no use as far as spiritual is concerned. That means normally these herbs is used for who have a psychic problem, something like mental problem. They will use this, not for spiritual. Then the soma rasa, soma juice is used to help inferior students who were not capable of sitting in one position for a long time and who did not have the ability to concentrate their minds. By taking this soma juice, the thoughts start running in one direction, the body becomes still and free of pain. However, the use of these herbs was restricted and controlled by particular tradition of herbologists. I'm sorry, I'm just read. I hope you all don't mind. Anyhow, healthy diet, calm atmosphere, mantra, and guidance were important factor when soma rasa was used. If not, it is harmful, which might damage the nervous system and disturb finer channel of energy nadis. That means we must really careful with using the soma rasa. That if it's wrong, it will harmful for the nadis. Okay, hallucination. At the same time, the harm is hallucination also occurs, and one becomes psychotic. So then Sri Rama noticed the effect on people who have take soma, not found any spiritual system, might have unusual experience. This herbologist say he also used soma rasa and had very pleasant effects. But if it take regularly, it brought on the depression and lead to the psychological addiction. So the writer persuade Sri Rama to try it's one because he say it's very wonderful. So one day he went together and he prepared the juice for juice of Asta Varga. It has a mixture of 8 herbs and mixed with soma creeper. So both of them drank, and the taste was a little bit bitter and sour. After a while, what happened was the writer started chanting and swearing and ultimately threw off all his clothes and started dancing. Oppositely, Sri Rama have a severe headache and become so restless. Unfortunately, as the writer began shouting that he was Shiva and cried, "Where is my Parvati?" This disturbed all the students who came to visit Sri Rama in the morning. They tried to restrain him, but he became so strong that 5 people could not able to hold him down. The message from this chapter is even it have positive benefit, but harm is more if not prepared psychologically. This is the first chapter. Second chapter is about beyond the great religious. Just a small paragraph. Let me read the message. Okay. Hold on. The world have come out of one truth. If we follow religion without practicing the truth, it's like blind leading the blind. Those who belong to God love all. Love is the religion of the universe. All compassionate one transit the boundaries of religion and realize the undivided absolute reality. Okay, then another chapter, the last chapter is the Christian sake of the Himalayas. There once lived a sage in Sri Rama monastery who was very knowledgeable about Christ. His name is Sadhu Singh. When he visit Madras, 10,000 people will come to hear him to speak. In fact, people used to fly all the way from Europe. He born in Punjab, but he was sick by birth. When he was still young, he had vision. Normally had vision. Each every night, he did not understand whether it was dream, something guiding him, or something harmful. He saw someone will asking, "Get up, go toward Himalayas." So until one stage, he tried to avoid from sleep because he scared the thing. He can see the vision. Someone is asking him to come to Himalaya. So he go and ask so many people. Then they say maybe he's a Buddha. One say is Krishna. One say is one is say is a Christ. So after he saw the picture of Christ, then only he realized that the master who appeared in his dream was Christ. Again and again, same thing happened. The voice says, "Why are you delaying?" Finally, one day he left his home without informing anyone and he went to the Himalayas. Is the person introduced to Swami Sri Rama about Christian Bible. He also taught Sri Rama the comparative study of Bhagavad Gita and Bible. Sri Rama will get message about Krishna in the morning, afternoon about Buddha, and evening about Christ. Sadhu Sundar Singh was very loving, kind, and highly evolved soul. Sri Rama think he is the one of the teacher. Fundamentally, the religion embraced the ideal of love to the extreme of accepting death in the service of others and loving others as themselves. Okay. One day, what happened? Sri Rama Hasi, have you seen God? He say, "I see God not once, twice, or thrice. Every day I found God." So he say, "How? Can you explain to me again?" He say, whenever you are conscious, it shows that you are be with God and consciously remembering Him. So whenever you want to fall asleep also, just tell him that, "Lord, please be with me." So this is the main message he want to tell, that consciousness about God. Whenever we are conscious, we must think about God. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shashi Rekha. Thank you. Okay, talking about this soma and morphine, just a little bit of information that I know. There are, I think I've seen a movie where the sadhu is taking that ganja. You know, I don't know what's the name of the movie, but I think it's.
I think it could be Nan Kadam.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Somabanam, Somamuligai.
Yes, he takes everything right. So that's one.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, all these herbals are actually used for the benefit of the humankind. Okay, but unfortunately, what has happened is the Western medicine has come into the system, and it has actually told, let me unmute everyone. Okay, the Western medicine has come into the system and destroyed all these things. Okay, but there is one herb that we in meditation it's encouraged, that is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a herb that is recommended by Ayyappa Master and even predict faster if you want to do a longer meditation. You just take that and you will go into a thoughtless state faster. Okay, so I'm not promoting it, I'm just sharing my knowledge with all of you. So with that, the next person is Krishnaveni. Unmute, ma.
Yeah. My humble pronouns to Pidamanga Patriji, all masters in this wonderful evening. Okay. So I'm going to share on the chapter, on the meeting, on Swami Rama meets with Jesut Sadhu. This Jesut Sadhu is actually a sadhu belonging to Christianity. He used to wear the saffron color dress, and then the saffron color gaps is actually showing that they have burned out they have renounced all their desires, and they have burned out all their desires into fire of knowledge. That means they burn all the desire, they only want the knowledge, to attain the knowledge to realize themselves. This is why they are wearing the saffron color garbs. And then they also say in this chapter, Swami Rama says that there's 10 orders of Swamis in all. Okay, 10 orders of Swami and several orders of sadhus. And out of the 10 orders of Swamis, they are saying that 4 of the orders was been taken by Brahmins, because Brahmin from the beginning, they learn the scriptures of learn the Brahman scriptures. So they have taken four orders of the four orders, and then the balance 6 is to the rest of the Swamis. So we can see that some Swamis, they wear in a saffron color, some Swamis, they use the entire in what we call orange, what we call the orange color one, and then some is white, and there are many types, right? So these are the types that they are saying that these are orders. Okay, when Swami Rama meets up with this Jesut Sadhu, he was wearing saffron color garbs, and then he has a cross in his neck. So he is also an educated monk, and he also Jesut Sadhu, he also learned the Hindu scriptures as well as other scriptures too, because he knew very well about English and Sanskrit language. Okay, and he believed that this Jesut Sadhu believed that Jesus Christ lives in Himalayas. Okay, he lived in the Himalayas, and this Jesut Sadhu is very much he feel like he's walking, and he's spending the time with Christ all the time. So when he shared this with Swami Rama said how impossible it is, because Christ left his body 2000 years back, and you are saying that he's with you. And then this Jesut Sadhu was laughing at him, and then he says that what a ignorance. He says that the truth actually there is everlasting. Truth is always everlasting reality. So when he says that he's living and he's talking and he's spending his time with Christ, means he's with the Christ consciousness. So it's actually so Swami Rama, he feel like, oh, then he realized that how ignorant he was. So he realized that yes, that this Jesut Sadhu is very much attached with the Christ consciousness. So he believed that every step, every footprint he has is going along together with the Christ. So this is what Jesus Sadhu believed. And then he has a true love with the Christ consciousness. And then he also knows that everything we see, we must see from the faith eyes. We cannot see from the naked eyes. If you see it in the naked eyes, you won't see the truth in it. Okay, with that, and also Swami Rama, with this, with his journey with this Jesus Sadhu, he learned that he admired his love with Christ consciousness, and he learned that love is what they have to be with, so that they can realize this consciousness. Okay, so with that, it ends that chapter. And then the next chapter is about the Jesus in Himalayas. So in this chapter, they believe that Jesus has lived in this Himalayas since his age was 13 to 30, 13 to 30. So it says that why they believe this is because they give a three three reasons why they believe that Christ live in Himalayas. Is the first reason is the traditional garbs that he was wearing is actually from the Himalaya traditional. So that is one of the reasons why they believe Christ has lived in Himalaya. And then secondly, because of his hairstyle. His hairstyle seems a Kashmir hairstyle. Christ's hairstyle is a Kashmir hairstyle. So it's also part of the reason why they believe that Christ has been lived in Himalaya. And then the third thing is the miracle that Christ has performed is all related to the Kashmir's way of yogis miracles. So these three are the reason why they say that they have lived in, Christ have lived in Himalayas before. And then they also have a white pigeon story. And then in this story, they says that it was, there is a Russian writer. He have translated one Tibetan language written scriptures to English, and he published as The Unknown Life of Jesus Christ. Okay, but in this book he have described that he have proved that Christ have lived in Himalaya above 14,000 feet higher than the sea level. So in this chapter, Swami Rama, when he was visiting this this part of Himalaya, he had a pandit as a tour guide for him. And then this pandit also, he is very sure that Christ have lived in Himalaya before. And then okay, so that is the reason that even Rama also believes that Rama doesn't want to their belief is wrong. He says that he accepted to their belief. And then he also says that in Kashmir, there are many. Swami Rama said there are many scriptures, they haven't been converted or translated for our knowledge. There are many, and not and most of the scriptures, it cannot be we cannot understand unless we have the high competent to learn these scriptures, and we must be guided by a teacher for us to understand the scriptures. Okay, and then he also talked about the Sakti Pada. Saktipada is actually awakening of the lantern force buried in human beings. Okay, and he talked about the roving adept. He said that among the roving adepts, he found one guy who is 20 years old. He is American, and then he always very handsome look American, and then he have two what we call pinkish cheeks. So he looks very handsome and very cute. And then he always walk in Himalaya. He live in above 10K and 20K feet height. But he yet walk with the barefoot. Everywhere he go, he walk with the barefoot. And then he also been called as a Bal Bhagawan among the Himalayans there. And then he means the Bal Bhagawan, the American guy. He dislike all the what we call emotional devotion. Emotional devotion means like you see a sadhu, they will go and touch their feet. Then they will think that, oh, this he's like very high knowledgeable person, or he don't like all that. And then this sadhu, the Bal Bhagawan, and then at the same time when he meditate, this Bal Bhagawan meditate, he can lift his body 2.5 feet higher from the base. And then this Swami Rama said that he is not interested of this part, even though he is amazed with what he has seen on this one Bal Bhagawan's capability, but he says that that is part of the Mayas also. It's like bondage. Okay, he is not interested. He says that in this chapter. And then he also says that practicing of meditation and non-attachment is the road for us to lead to establishing and definite philosophy of life. The intellectual mind and the intellectual and internus, normally it could have blindly, emotionally misunderstood. But when you meditated, your intuition will get activated, and it will work toward the right direction of the life. Okay, and then the last chapter is about the vision of Christ that Swami Rama have seen. Okay, in this chapter, Swami Rama have come to Assam, and there's a village called Shillong in Assam. And this Shillong is like one village in there, and then they are this village is highly Christian believers says there, and then he says that and he in this village, he was arrested by the authorities because he have said that when he went there, when Swami Rama went to that village, there was an election going on. And then when the people asked who should they vote for, and then Swami Rama advised that it's up to them. Whoever they want to vote for is up to them. So the authority feel like Swami Rama is giving the wrong information to the villagers, and therefore they have arrested this Swami Rama and then put him to jail. And then the next day, when he was being brought to the court, before that night, Jesus Christ appeared in his dream. And then Jesus Christ says that he will be safe and nothing to be worried. The next day, when he was brought to the court, the judge asked why he's there. And then he mentioned that he also don't know what wrong he have done. It was just that he mentioned that when those people, the villagers asked why, who should they vote for, he just mentioned that they should vote for who they wish for. It's their own wishes. It's not that somebody have to, because in that particular time, the democracy was not well known by everyone. So when he says that they can choose whoever they want to vote for, so there was some dislike from the authorities in that villages. Okay, and then and in this Assam area, that he meet with one Swami called Gatwali Sadhu, and then he loved that Gatwali Sadhu. He loved Christianity, but not the churchnity. Okay, he hate the churchnity because in Christianity they believe that the universal consciousness. So they believe is oneness. They believe everything is one. But the Christianity is not like that, because they have a Christian church, they have Catholic church, they have another Protestant church. So they divide the church by the caste. The way they like even in Hinduism also we have that kind of this one, right? So they believe that they are Vainasha, they are this one, all that. So this is the division that they have given to all the castes, all that. So they don't like this kind of practice they have in the church. But they love the Christianity, because Christianity they talk about oneness, and they talk about the Christ consciousness. Okay, and so in this chapter, we also talk that there are a lot of reincarnation of God, okay, appear in this world, but most of them, they just change the basket only. They don't change the egg inside the basket. We talk about that in this topic also, because it is like they always think like what just now was Pathmaji was sharing. It says that the Buddhism, and then they have several kind of what we call the
Philosophy.
philosophy, right? So everything is like they change the basket only, but the egg inside the basket is still the same. So he's also talk about that, and then he also says that actually religion plays an important part in this society as a whole. The spiritual leaders and founders of the religions are accepted as authorities, but according to the analysis, the wisdom given by the sage in this eternal, the messages the leaders are giving are always misleading. So most of the religion is teaching the scriptures and the knowledge without knowing the truth of it. So always they forget about the truth, and they only think that their religious is the highest compared to the others. So this is what is being taught in this chapter. And then he also says that the doctrine of the faith is and best is being exploited by all the preachers of the world. Men are actually confused. Actually, we are actually confused more than what we learn. Actually, we have our own problem. Men already have a lot of problems to be confused with, but that problem is already become very small compared to the preachers and what the leaders of the religion is giving to us. So we always been more confused with them compared to our own problems. Okay, and he also says that we actually social and religion problem created by the conflict and difficult for one to dispel. Self-realization on God is the ultimate. But today's world are more concerned about sin and Satan. Okay, talk about that. And then he said that love alone has the power to change everything. Okay, with love only we can drop our hatred, we can drop our jealousies and other all the negatives that we have within us. So only love to be practiced, so that this world will be a oneness world. So we can see as a oneness for everything. Okay, this is end of the chapter, and that's what I have for this chapter sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Venima. Very nicely put. Wonderful session. Thank you, everyone. I think we have exceeded the time. So today, I will not share. I will share next week. Okay. I just want to stop recording